Good evening, I'm John DeLuca. Winnie Cicchetti is off. Tonight, news from the governor. All of the victims in last Thursday's horrible fire have now been identified, and the count stands at 96. The governor says the discrepancy happened because the initial total of 97 was released before all the forensic tests were complete. 94 names have been released. The remaining 2 will never be made public at the request of the families. We've also learned the Victims Relief Fund has surpassed $500,000. We have team coverage tonight, beginning with ABC6 reporter Jim Hummel at the scene with the latest on the investigation. Jim.
John, the grand jury did not meet today, but there was an awful lot going on outside the public's view in this investigation. And now a band that played here at the station last fall steps forward with some dramatic video. It's footage that investigators want to see, but you'll see it here first on ABC6. October 3rd, 2002. The band 1031 on stage at the station. One of the members blowing butane from his mouth onto an open flame. For a week, Lance and Chad Custodio have thought about the video they made there last fall.
I was debating whether to bring it in, and then after I've seen all this stuff and everybody saying that this wasn't there and this wasn't there, well, that proves it was there in October.
He's talking about the foam insulation that may have fueled last week's fire. He says a manager at the club never stepped in to stop this, even though the flames were close to the insulation. They simply gave this advice.
Yes, keep it away from the walls. They said keep it towards the center of the stage.
Why do you think?
Because that stuff's flammable. That's why.
I mean, if you'd like to give a copy of that to me right now, I'd appreciate it.
Attorney General Patrick Lynch welcomes any video, audio, or pictures people think may help investigators.
It's the very thing that the media, frankly, has been helpful in, and I appreciate that to you directly and to others during the course of it, this investigation. So something like that and other tapes that have been produced may ultimately prove just to be pertinent background information, but some of it may be used in other ways, should it be appropriate.
Meanwhile, the Custodio brothers just hope their tape may give investigators some clues.
If it helps, it helps. You know, it's heart-wrenching just talking to you with the mic, I feel, you know. All this stuff, man, it's just, you gotta do what you gotta do to help on this. So we just looked at it with brothers, man. We wouldn't want to burn that place down. Nobody would.
And if you have any information or videotape you'd like to pass along to investigators, call this number on your screen. It's 821-6101. Also today, the lawyer for Great White's tour manager said that a high-ranking official from the station approached the tour manager a week before the show asking for pyrotechnics. Reporting live in West Warwick, Jim Hummel, ABC6 News.
All right, thank you, Jim. 1 week later, the scene of the devastating fire is transformed into a shrine. Flowers and pictures now adorn the fence surrounding the church.
Also tonight, the attorney for the lead singer of the band that set off the pyrotechnics, Great White, wants immunity in exchange for his testimony before the grand jury. Band members were seen arriving on the base where the grand jury met today, but we don't know if any of them actually testified. WBZ's Kathy Currens in West Warwick at the scene of the fire. And Kathy, you have new information on the flammable foam that lined the walls of the club?
That's right, Joe. There's really a lot of damaging evidence on both sides of this case. We already know that the band didn't have a permit for the pyrotechnics. We've also learned that the club actually bought that foam insulation and it wasn't fireproof, and many musicians say it was just a recipe for disaster.
You know, we wouldn't have done it there. You know, we wouldn't even have done it there. You know, I didn't even know it was flame retardant or not, you know what I mean?
Members of the band 1031 say if they knew what they know now, back in October of last year, they wouldn't have sparked this flame illusion at the station nightclub.
I'm not saying we're condoning it or saying it was good, but we don't do it anymore.
The Seekonk band turned their video over to West Warwick Police today because it clearly shows the flammable soundproofing surrounding the stage. WBZ has learned the foam was purchased by the club in June of 2000 from the American Foam Corporation in Johnston, Rhode Island. The company president tells us, quote, "What they bought is a packaging foam. It is not made for soundproofing. You can light it on fire. We do have fire retardant foam, but they didn't ask for that."
I've done Ozfest where I've been on lighting trusses where pyrotechnics have been used.
Christopher Velarde has been in the music business for 17 years. He says bottom line, the pyrotechnician, in this case Great White's manager Dan Beakley, seen here on the night of the fire, didn't do his job.
Everything should be examined. What type of curtains are used, what type of backdrops the band's used to hang. They all have to be fire retardant, and all, stuff is fire tested and used properly.
And we want to make it clear that what the band 1031 used here at the nightclub is not considered a pyrotechnic. And getting back to the foam insulation, the club bought 25 sheets for a total cost of $575. Reporting live from West Warwick, Kathy Curran, WBZ 4 News.
Well, it's been one full week